You're basically electronics and communication engineer.
Yes, sir. Right.
Attempted civil services 4 times.
Yes, sir.
All 4 times you appeared for means?
Yes, sir. 4 mains.
So 4 times you qualified, you are through prelims.
Yeah.
It's a good, interesting thing. Did not miss even a single time.
Yeah.
What is your optional?
My optional was mathematics.
Mathematics. So could not get through
I attended one interview, sir.
one interview.
And the rest 3 mains I just was stopped.
Okay. Which year you went up to interview?
In 2017.
17.
And then in 2018, I attended this CAPF Assistant Command.
So you are into, presently you are with, you're into service, no? You are in
I'm currently working in private sector.
private sector, financial consultancy.
No, sir. Actually, I'm doing a project consultancy to one company, and I'm working as business head in Radiance Aero Hospitality.
Radiance Aero Hospitality Service, business head.
Yeah.
So how could you cope up all these things, civil services and your other activities together?
After 2020, I have given a little break for civil services.
And you are into this.
Yeah, I'm into business.
Yeah.
Currently
But
looking after industry.
Are you going to continue it after?
Yes, sir.
Do you have more chances? For
I have 2 more attempts left.
Uh-huh.
So I just want to get into private sector and see the working there also,
Hmm.
so that I get a better experience in the future. It will be helpful even for me. So after that, I just want to take 2 years break from this thing and again come back. So I want to regenerate myself.
So mathematics,
Yeah.
you appeared examination with mathematics. All the 4
all the
times.
4 attempts.
4 attempts with
Yeah.
mathematics. But generally, what people say is mathematics is a good scoring subject.
The problem is, sir, it depends on the year we write, sir, mostly. So in the first attempt, my score was around 265. So I lost my mains cutoff by 3 marks. So in the second attempt, I scored good in mathematics. My score was 290. But my essay that year was 105. So that year, I lost the interview by 20 marks.
So what is the difference between UPSC examination and APPSC?
So the depth of analysis we have in UPSC and APPSC differs when it comes to the exam pattern. So the prelims now in APPSC it's almost the same thing. The questions are framed very well this time. It is up to not up to the level of UPSC, but to certain extent it was very good up to the UPSC level. But in the mains also, they have introduced this ethics paper, the governance part, science and tech, environment. Everything is on tune with the UPSC. But the only issue is the kind of analytical questions they ask. Like it's more of a theoretical based question type I observed in APPSC.
In APPSC, not more analytical.
Not more analytical compared to UPSC. But it has developed very much when we compare to the previous year's papers. The most of the questions were framed very well.
Have you attempted any other APPSC examination before?
No, sir.
This is the first.
This is the first thing. I just went to the APPSC World Group 1 paper. So from there I did it.
You were in extracurricular activities, financial consulting.
Yes, sir.
You started it recently.
Yeah, just like to college, to some companies, and like I worked in an IT company earlier. Like I was the operations head of that. So there, and to some construction companies, I used to give the financial consulting to the employees.
But where is your academic? There is nothing about financial in your academic career.
No, sir. I do a lot of research myself, everything. So that I just want, because students nowadays, whenever they start earning money, sir, most of the thing is going into expenditure itself. So the income minus expenditure is called saving. They are not worried about saving part. They are completely keeping it on expenditure. So I just want them to plan it from starting of the career, so that what it gives to them in the long term. I just want to give them. So I tell them about the insurance policies you need to take, what are the financial investments you need to make. And for the retirees, where the investment you can put so that your money is not at risk and also you get good returns in your investment. So I just, on the request of few companies and those, I just give the classes to them.
So other extra interest is cricket.
Yes, sir.
Do you play cricket?
Yeah, sir. I was a member of CBIT Chaitanya Bharati Institute of Technology. I used to represent CVIT for years. Was 1 year.
Are you a batsman or a bowler?
I'm a batsman.
Batsman. So, recently Mithali Raj
Yes.
retired.
She retired from international.
Yeah. Can you tell something about some important aspect of Mithali Raj?
So, two important things is her leadership qualities. Being an Indian captain, how she held the team whenever they were in loss or when they were in the failures, when the team was losing many matches, even during World Cups. She never complained about the team. She used to cooperate with all the members and encourage them to just fight till the end, whether it's a win or a lose thing. And the another big thing is the run she scores. She's the highest run scorer in women's international cricket. So having such long career with such discipline is a very great thing. That which every not only a man or a woman in any sports and any career they need to learn that thing. Maintaining consistently throughout your career.
Recently, another woman from Telangana
Okay.
won accolades.
Okay.
Can you name her? Some international title.
Yes, I couldn't exactly remember her name. Now, Naveen or something. She was this world boxing champion.
Nikhat.
Nikat.
World boxing champion.
World boxing champion.
Any
She has
other
won
woman?
the gold thing after Mary Kom. She is the second woman to win the gold medal at World Boxing Champion.
Do you think boxing is a game?
Yes, boxing is also.
Then again coming back to your cricket,
Yeah.
there is a criticism about cricket. Because of cricket, at the expense of cricket, we are losing all other games in India.
To some extent, it is true, sir, because the board of management of cricket is really strong in India. It's not there. It is not the government support that is pulling this cricket initial as of now in India. It's completely a private sector game, and the kind of facilities and everything that is provided to cricket has put that in this 20-30 years this has we have brought to this stage, sir. But from the past 10 years, we have seen not only in cricket, sir, even badminton and all other sports are getting equal importance. Governments are supporting. For example, if you take Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, sir, the badminton who are represent India from mostly are from Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. The main reason for this is the infrastructure provided by the governments, the encouragement, the sponsorships provided by the private sector. All these factors are influencing. So slowly we are moving out of that sphere and we are getting into all these sphere, all the other sports too. Again, 2 days back we got this news they are starting a Coco Premier League also. So such thing encourage new talents to come into this, and parents also if they support these things and government support, we can automatically get into all these spheres, which is also needed for India to be strong at Olympics, not just concentrating on it.
Coming back to your state,
Yes.
that is Andhra Pradesh.
Sir, sorry to interrupt. I'm from Telangana, sir.
State PSC.
Yeah. I just came.
Yeah. You hail from Telangana. You are a native of Telangana.
Yeah, sir, I'm native of
Yeah, appearing for
For
APPSC.
yes.
APPSC. So, what exactly are the problems Andhra Pradesh is facing today?
The first big thing is the economics. When we look at the economic space, the state has been promised many things after the AP Reorganization Act. Most of the things have not been fulfilled, or they are fulfilled to some extent, which does not even meet the requirements of the states. Like AP special status, the Kadapa steel plant, the Bhogapuram airport, and also this special package status. So what happening is it is creating a lot of financial burden on the state, and moreover that the government is trying to balance the development and welfare schemes also, but to a larger extent, most of the expenditure is being used for revenue expenditures, and there is only 30,000 crores are being used for the capital expenditure in the states. So this in the long term, without capital expenditure, we can't go for a development oriented approach. So it mostly where growth we can't focus on growth. Most of the amount we focus on the welfare schemes. In the long term, this may create certain burden to the governments. So from the economic sphere, that is the one thing. And the social sphere also there are a lot of issues. So like after the ban of the liquor, a lot of people are addicted to this toddy and all these things, which is creating lot of loss of lives and impacting even the state revenue to some extent because completely is concentrated in the hands of the state.
Is there ban of liquor?
Partial prohibition of liquor.
But there is no problem in getting liquor. In different sorts of liquor, there is no problem, I believe, in our country.
It is only being done through the state government depots,
Yeah.
not through private
Yeah.
depots.
But it is available.
Yeah, it's available to some extent. But people are, and the pricing was also so high just to ensure that people de-addict themselves so that they consume less. So what these doing is people in rural areas because of lack of awareness or something, they're taking this toddy and all these things. So which is indirectly impacting the health of these people.
Do you think pricing will discourage the people from?
To some extent, sir, really, it impact changes. Why? Because I myself run a microbrewery in airport, so I know the impact, the pricing impact. How it is.
Microbrewery?
In airport, Shamshabad airport.
Okay.
So we are the master concessionaire for this Aero Plaza.
Mm.
There is a new Aero Plaza built at the airport.
Mm.
So we are the master concessionaire for the airport, and we ourselves invested in this microbrewery, and we are gaining some zero latency. So I've seen the impact there at the microbrewery, how the pricing impacts the people. Like certain sections of people come there, so normal people can't afford there.
Mm.
So such things of I have observed personally in the microbreweries.
Is it possible for complete prohibition in India, in any state?
Uh, it depends on a lot of factors. So we need to see from the input and output side. One thing is state governments need to take a very strong decision, like which was taken during the time of NTR when he was the CM. So when the state revenues, they are very capable of focusing on, they're capable of filling that revenue deficits and fiscal deficits so that they can both concentrate on growth and development and also ensure that people they can able to motivate people, create awareness, de-addict them. So in that cases, it is completely possible, sir. It's not like we are not. It's not impossible for the government. They can do it, but we need to focus on all these things, and also we need to see from this perspective. Also, like in India, we have this freedom of life, freedom of speech and expression. So it's an individual choice basically to have this liquor. So we can't put complete restrictions on that, but we need to have certain kind of watchdog kind of thing on liquor so that people don't create these social disturbances where women harassment we are seeing, the road drink and drive accidents. So we should ensure that there's a balance between both of this. So complete prohibition is not encourageable and illegal and overhyped selling of liquor is also not acceptable. So there should be certain limit on this liquor sales.
Have you heard about this Disha Act?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Can you elaborate on that?
So this was introduced by the state of Andhra Pradesh post the incident that happened in Hyderabad where a medical student was raped and murdered by 4 people in the state of Telangana. So based on her name, the government has brought out a law where within 21 days the government need to complete the entire prosecution part and also the investigation and prosecution and complete the complete judicial process within 21 days and ensure the justice is delivered in an effective manner to the victims.
So, factually, was she a medical student?
Yes, sir. She is a veterinary doctor.
Doctor,
Yeah,
not a
veterinary
student.
doctor.
So, how effective? Or can you say or can you exemplify that because of this act,
Yes.
some changes there in Andhra Pradesh or anywhere we can see the change? Like Nirbhaya Act has been enacted in
Yes.
this winter. Can we see a change through this?
So not completely, sir. This being in a society, we are interlinked with many factors. One thing can't change it completely. Just if we take the case of Disha incident, sir, that instant, just the 4 people were concentrated. There are multiple factors which has led to that instance. First thing, that vehicle has traveled from West Bengal to Hyderabad, and that person was driving without license from that state to this state, and it has crossed 4 checkpost borders, and none of them were intercepted. and the three people who were minors in them were supplied liquor. Even after the police department was informed by 12 o'clock, action was not taken till 4 hours. So these kind of incident, we can't just think an individual kind of act like one people or one person creating this impact. Total society is responsible for this. So complete social awareness and social change, behavioral change is more important in such kind of activities, which should be brought right from the start of education systems. When children should be taught what are the rights of women, how we respect them. So educational institutions, they have a role to play. The political parties have a role to play. The police departments have a role to play. So all these incidents, enacting a law and enforcing it does not solve the problem completely. So we have seen in the Nirbhaya Act, and again the incidents have been repeated even in Delhi and all the metropolitan cities. Recently even in Telangana. So acts are needed and need to be enforced to ensure justice to the victims. But in the long term, in order to solve this problem, like I said, all the social factors need to be coming together and need to create awareness and bring about behavioral changes.
Which historical site did you visit in the recent times?
In recent times, this Jogalamba temple I visited.
Can you tell something about Jogalamba's history?
Yes, it's in Mahabubnagar district. So in the state of,
When did you visit this Jogalamba temple?
it's long back, sir, around 1 year back. Because from
1 year.
Yeah, because from 1 year I have visited projects. It's been 1 year back. It is one of the Shaktipita and very powerful temple dedicated to goddesses Durga. So the temple architecture is of Dravidian style temple architecture. And most of it has been damaged, and we need to restore such kind of temples which have such historical value to attract tourism, which also adds value to the state of Telangana. So, because in recent times we are not having any UNESCO World Heritage Sites in AP and Telangana. In recent time we are not adding any more UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Such kind of temples and places need to be redeveloped. We need to increase the tourism sector, ensure these places are included in heritage sites because of the importance this adds to our culture.
Do we have any heritage site in AP and Telangana?
So, best of my knowledge, very few. Sir.
UNESCO heritage site,
Yeah,
I meant to say.
heritage sites. Very few. As far as known, I know Koderu Lake is one thing. I think. On the
Are you sure?
I'm not confident about this. I just need to check it. Because in recent time, from the past 6 years or 7, I did not find any place getting into UNESCO World Heritage Sites, at least from Telangana.
Ramappa?
Yeah, recently it was added. Yes, thank you. The Ramappa temple was recently added.
Anything about Lepakshi?
It was built during the Kakatiya temple.
No, I'm talking about heritage site, UNESCO heritage site. Is there anything to add about Lepakshi? UNESCO heritage site.
So, on what perspective we can add it?
No. Is there any news related to Lepakshi and UNESCO heritage site?
I haven't had this. Sorry.
It is on tentative list now.
Okay. The planning.
Okay. This year, Lepakshi entered into the tentative list. Tentative list doesn't entitle the heritage tag.
Status.
It is a tentative list. Now the process will begin. It may take 10 years or 15 years, we don't know, to get the tag.
Yeah.
But this is just this year it entered into tentative list, Lepakshi. Which dynasty or which period this Lepakshi temple was built?
It was built during the period of Kakatiya dynasty.
Kakatiya. Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Can you name the person who built it?
No, sir.
It is Vijayanagara, not Kakatiya. It's a Vijayanagara period temple. Okay. Which district?
Anantapur and Chittor, sir.
Anantapur.
Yeah.
Now it is part of Hindupur. I don't know whether Hindupur has been made into.
It has been made into separate constituency.
Sure.
Yes.
The Balakrishna was fighting for the status of state district. Hindupur district was the debate. Because
For a separate district under the year. Hindupur was part of the parliament constituency, which was the part of Hindupur.
But is Hindupur a separate district now after the reorganization of the state?
No, sir, not even after recent times.
Who is the MLA?
Number one.
So, why I ask such questions is, see, you are into Telangana basically.
Yeah.
So please keep some new things happening in Andhra Pradesh into your these what changes they are doing, everything. How many districts are there in Andhra Pradesh now?
33 districts.
Sure,
Yes.
confident. 33. Telangana is 33. Recently there was some disturbances, riots.
Yeah.
When these districts are being reorganized. Can you name the district or that controversy?
Yes.
What exactly was the
It's
controversy?
regarding the district of Amalapuram, which they wanted him to convert it to Ambedkar district of this policy. So people hesitated and they won the minister of that state house as well.
It was known as Konosima district.
Yeah.
Konosima district, whether it has to be named as Ambedkar Konosima district, not Amlapuram district. Amlapuram is the headquarters only. If Andhra Pradesh has to come out of the revenue problems or these capital issues and everything, what are your suggestions? What are the things to be done?
So I think that we need to balance the growth and development factors. Like we can't completely ignore the welfare schemes. At the same time, growth cannot be put aside. So what I think what is a balance between growth and development, where schemes should be targeted so that there should not be any leakages. It should reach the right target beneficiaries. And at the same time, growth need to be constant. We need to spend on the capital expenditure of the states. And government of as special package is as of now not at finalized. Government is as in not come out of any opinion on that. So immediately state should fight for at least this special package which has been promised and ensure that at least funds and the tax benefits should be given so that we can concentrate on the infrastructure development so that we can pull some kind of manufacturing industry being a coastal state which have advantage of export import businesses and all these things so that it can improve on this growth part also so that we can balance with both growth and development at the same time. So,
Don't you think that it's high time talking about special status? It's already 8 years.
yes, special status. That's the reason I was telling. Just go for special package at least because the government has promised this thing. At least we can get that and just fight for few other incentives like
Even for special package,
yeah.
is it not high time? It's already 8 years. And do you think AP has less resources?
It's not resources, sir. It's about the finances because there is a lot of this burden of finances. Around 3 lakh crores of loans has been taken, which is creating itself on interest burden is creating so much for the state of Andhra Pradesh. So they need some kind of financial support, sir, from the central government. We name it as some new name or some old name, package or status or anything special incentive is also fine. The government need financial support at this stage. So that this financial support should be used to, as I told, for both growth and development. And that's my opinion.
What is your opinion on the capital issue? Capital means capital, CAPITAL, Amravati, or 3 capitals. Because capital has 2 meanings.
Yes. I feel that the state, both have their own advantages and disadvantages. As we can see, Vizag has its own advantages and disadvantages. Amravati has its own advantages and disadvantages. Government, everyone has put their opinions on this. Everything has been done. So what they tell is according to me, having a single capital is much more beneficial to this. Why? Because legislative and executive in India are not a separate part as of now. We have this. We have no complete separation of powers. So what happens is every legislative decision as an interlink with an executive, and in India, the executive are integral part of the legislative. So any orders or anything, need a coordination between these two parts. Sir. And when we have judiciary at one end, executive at another, legislative one end, so even if suppose a simple order which need to be get signed, or a simple thing which need an immediate action, even if a common person, they can't travel 700 kilometers all the way from there. It creates unnecessary time lags between things. This is one main thing. Sir. And keeping in view the coastal state Vizag, it is more prone to having a large 174 kilometers of this coastal border and all these things. Last time when we seen during this cyclones, it has been severely impacted. Hudud and one more it has been severely impacted. And having a executive capital there in future, and also we are talking about these South China Sea issues and the coastal wars, the aggression we are seeing on the coastal parts may impact only even on Vizag. So having a state which is having a part as planned, having a capital in the center parts not only create this efficiency of to the common man, and also it has its own advantages like the ease of traveling from all the places. It would be easy to the central part. And also the government, one concern is definitely there, so they want a decentralized growth for all the parts instead of a development at a centralized part as we have seen in the case of Hyderabad, which may lead to neglect of other parts. So what we need to do for that thing is we can go for a integrated development like the Visakhapatnam Chennai corridor we are building it. So we can develop the industrial hubs, pharma parks, like IT parks. We can have it integrated clusters or manufacturing zones for the development of these regions. I believe that just having a capital does not add much to it in terms of development perspectives.
This last sentence
Yes, sir.
could have been the first sentence,
Okay, sir.
and your answer could have been crispy.
Okay, sir. Right, sir.
Is it not?
Yeah, yes.
I was waiting for this sentence.
Yeah.
And the last sentence is the gist of your entire explanation.
Yes.
Capital need not be linked to development.
Right, yes.
Capital is capital. It's administrative or judiciary, whatever it is.
Yes.
There are some states which has two capitals.
Yes.
They shift in different seasons. Can you name such states?
Maharashtra, where we have this Mumbai and Nagpur. In Shimla, Dharmshala, and
Do you think it moves to Dharamshala?
the winter capital, we know it from
Is it Jammu Kashmir, Srinagar to
Srinagar
Jammu?
and Jammu and also
But Dharamshala, Himachal?
not Himachal Pradesh, Shimla and Darjeeling.
Darjeeling.
Yeah.
Darjeeling is not in
Intersections
Himachal.
in-
Darjeeling is in the West Bengal.
So this Himachal Pradesh, then
Check the capitals, which has two capitals, they move. Okay. Finally, you have the roots in Andhra Pradesh,
yes,
but you are a Telanganite.
yes,
Now you want to have a position, official position in administration in Andhra Pradesh. How do you visualize yourself as an administrator, able administrator, doing justice in Andhra Pradesh?
I think so. Having seen, I was born there in Andhra Pradesh in Vijayawada. Grown there for 3 years, then back to Telangana for the rest of my life. I've seen the cultures don't vary much. The geographical factors we are aware of, being a citizen of the state, being a citizen of part of my life in the state, and also the economic factors we have known to such an extent. So, and being in private sector and handling some of the biggest organizations, I feel that in my experience, I could help to state in whichever position I get there. In bringing knowing the factors of that local region, I could support myself in the development of that states.
So, which aspect should be addressed immediately in Andhra Pradesh to resolve the issues of Andhra Pradesh? Which is the immediate problem and which is the sector?
Two things, sir. The first thing is the capital issue need to be immediately addressed. And the second thing is the financial status of the states.
How do you want to improve the financial status? Forget about the package.
Yes, sir.
There is no package.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we have to improve the financial condition of the state.
Yes, sir.
Where are the sources? What are the resources you want to plug in?
Yes. Sir, anywhere what we see is the sector wise, we transfer from an agricultural to an industrial sector and then to a service sector based model. Any developed country, wherever we see. But in the case of India, we have seen this transformation from agriculture to directly a service sector oriented. The same thing is being observed even in the state of Andhra Pradesh, where 40% of your part of your GDP is from agriculture and service sector, and just 20% is being concentrated on the industrial sectors. And we know that industrial sector is the most important sector in terms of employment generation, export promotion, state revenues, everything. Industry plays an important part, mostly the manufacturing sector. Sir. So what I think is immediately the government need to focus on developing in the industrial sector in the state. Even if in government of India don't support in certain aspects, state need to give concession from their side. Need to develop corridors and parks. Need to develop the infrastructure and created the dedicated park we call the infrastructure, and certain subsidies to them which are in the capable of the state, like say SGST exemptions. So they can attract industries and create employment and can ensure growth and development in the states.
Right.